Imagine the amount of pants I pooped when I checked my phone and saw the demo for the revival of my favorite game franchise was live. For anyone wondering, it was many pants. I'm gonna start this off by saying this, or rather, embarrassingly admitting it. At least from what I've played, and by that I mean only the one stage they give you in the demo, Blockman stage, Mega Man 11 is fucking hard. When I first booted it up, I was a little bummed out because there was a choice of difficulty setting, but the hardest one was unavailable in the demo. I now realize that I would have not been ready for that. Not to say that this is the hardest Mega Man game I've ever played, but it definitely caught me off guard, and it's for the most part pretty fair, save for this mini-boss that pops up a few times that I really think it's impossible sometimes to avoid taking damage against. To be honest, the extra difficulty is kind of offset by the new double gear system, and I know a lot of people were thinking that this mechanic was going to be some kind of cheap crutch, but I actually do think its existence is supposed to go hand in hand with a slightly ramped up difficulty. Not to say that you need the double gear system to make progress, you don't, but I think they may have increased the difficulty in some areas to encourage that new mechanic, or at least that's what makes the most sense to me. Another thing I noticed was the level was really fucking long. I can't tell if it seemed longer due to the difficulty of it, or if it really was just a longer stage, but I will admit the stage felt like it was overstaying its welcome just a little bit, especially after getting a game over and having to start it all over again from the beginning multiple times. There's a few notable new additions that I think are pretty cool, so I'm gonna just list them off right now. So there's this little purple boy that looks like Eddie, the robot helper from the other games that would give you items for free at random points in the stage, but this little asshole taunts you with the item he holds and then quickly runs away. The only way to obtain the item he carries is if you destroy him, but doing that is easier said than done, and you need to be very fast, at least with the Buster. I haven't tested it with the other two weapons you have available, because I always just end up sticking with the Buster, and I forget to use other shit. Oops. Also, Rush Coil is now just a thing you can use in standard Buster form, and all you need to do is press a dedicated button. This is such a welcome change. It's very slight, but it's crazy that it took them 11 games to realize that it's way more streamlined and efficient. And it also doesn't break the pace of the game like it used to in the old games when you used to have to pause and then select rush just to make a platforming thing happen. I know that you could swap with other buttons in other games, but that shit's annoying too. I don't want to do that. So I'm not sure if this is going to be a feature with all the Robot Masters, but Blockman has a second form, and not like one that comes after you defeat his first form. It happens mid-fight, and you need to defeat his much bigger and more powerful form to begin attacking his base form again. I wasn't great at figuring out the patterns, but this is a pretty cool way to change up the formula of Mega Man bosses. Now, I know a lot of people were complaining about the art style, but I actually really like it, which surprises me because I normally hate the 2.5D aesthetic and think it looks cheap. It's probably because even though the game technically is 2.5D, the cartoony nature and cell shading make it not appear as such, kind of like what Dragon Ball FighterZ does. I always forget that game actually is rendered in a 3D space until special moves are performed. I will say though, if they got anything right, it's the responsiveness of the controls. It's very snappy and quick, and if you're a seasoned Mega Man player, you know how incredibly important this is. Luckily, for anyone who was worried, it's there. Part of me was worried that the controls might not be quite as tight and they'd take a back seat to more flowy and impressive animations, but that's not the case at all. The level design itself was really well thought out for the most part, and after playing the demo, I'm really not worried about the quality of the final product. The demo pretty much proves for me that Mega Boy is in good hands, but I guess we'll find out for sure soon. Until then, play this demo, cause it's fucking good.